Good morning. In today's session, we will explore the fundamental principles and best practices of recruitment and selection. And as we know, in our previous discussion, we already have tackled this one and agreed as a group that the success of the organization heavily relies on the people who work for it, diba? Therefore, the process of attracting, selecting, and even hiring the right talent is a crucial activity for any organization. Recruitment and selection are critical HR functions that ensures that the right people with the necessary skills and qualifications are hired for the job. So in here, we will be discussing here the key concepts, strategies, and tools required to conduct effective recruitment and selection processes. So let's dive in and explore the world of recruitment and selection together. Okay. So we have seen here that hiring talented individuals is critical to an organization's success. Okay. So it is really recognized that the success of any business is greatly influenced by the caliber and attitude of people who work for it. So hiring talented individuals is a crucial part of the organization's desire to succeed as they bring valuable skills, expertise, and innovative ideas that contribute to the growth and development of a certain company or organization. Talented employees not only help organizations achieve their goals and objectives, but they also bring a positive impact on the organizational culture and employee morale. Furthermore, talented individuals can play a significant role in building a competitive advantage for the organization. Therefore, organizations need to have an effective recruitment and selection process in place to attract, assess, and hire the best talent available in the market. But this step of acquiring talent or acquiring the right talent can also be challenging task. Okay? So we all know that acquiring the right talent is essential for the success of the organization, but it's not always an easy task. Many factors can make it challenging to find and hire the right people. And one of the primary reasons is that the job market is highly competitive and talented individuals are in high demand. As a result, organizations must compete with other companies to attract the top talent. Moreover, the recruitment process itself can be time consuming and costly. Organizations need to invest in creating effective job postings, screening resumes, interviewing candidates, and even conducting background checks. And even after all these steps, there is no guarantee that the right candidate will be hired. Hence, this process can be frustrating and time consuming for HR managers, recruiters, and even for the organization itself. So, another challenge is uh, many talented individuals may already be employed and may not be actively looking for new job opportunities. So, in such cases, recruiters need to use creative strategies such as the use of social media and networking to reach out to potential candidates. And in addition, some organizations may struggle to attract diverse talent. This can be due to the lack of diversity in their existing workforce, biased recruitment processes, or even a lack of effort to reach out to the underrepresented groups. Therefore, having a sound and effective recruitment and selection policies, procedures, and systems can help organizations overcome the challenges of acquiring the right talent. So, a well-designed recruitment and selection process can help organizations attract, assess, and hire the best talent available in the market. Okay. So we always have to put this into our minds that recruitment is a crucial strategic activity for organizations. Because isipin natin na hindi lang ito organizational activity na ginagawa natin just for the sake of having a recruitment and selection process, but meron siyang strategic value. Always remember that. Okay? Because recruitment and selection contributes to the success of the organization. And a well-designed recruitment and selection process can help organizations identify and hire top talent, which can bring significant benefits to the organization. Furthermore, talented employees can bring innovative ideas, valuable skills, and even expertise that contribute to the organization's growth and development. Therefore, organizations need to establish a good recruitment and selection process to ensure that they are hiring the best candidates for the job. Okay? And also, whether you are a small business, large organizations, the value of recruiting is essential to your business. So recruiting is essential for businesses regardless of your size or whatever industry you are into. Because every organization or businesses needs to concern itself with recruiting, whether you are filling a job vacancy, staffing a new position, or a plan for succession of management. So when business have a vacancy, it can lead to a gap in productivity and revenue, which can have a long lasting impacts on the organization. Therefore, it is crucial for you to have a recruitment process that is in place already to quickly fill the job vacancy with the right candidate. And this will ensure that the organization continues to function at optimal levels. Furthermore, when you are expanding or growing your business, there will be a need to recruit new staff to support these changes. And kapag meron ka ng good recruitment process in place, you will not struggle anymore to attract and hire the right talent that you need to succeed. So kapag wala ka namang recruitment process that is in place, you might struggle, and this could lead to delay in growth plans, missed opportunities, and even nalilesen ngayon yung competitive advantage. Another thing, if you will be conducting a succession plan, this is also a crucial aspect of recruitment because especially for large organizations, they need to have a plan in place to ensure that they have the right people to fill key leadership positions when they become available. So without your succession plan, businesses may struggle to find suitable candidates when senior leaders retires or leaves the organization. Okay? So the recruitment process is not just the concern of large organizations, but regardless of your size and whatever industry you're into, you need to have a good recruitment and selection policies, procedures, and even activities. Okay? And also, as a manager, part of your job is to conduct recruitment and selection activities because this is part of the staffing function of management. And alam naman natin kapag staffing, this focuses more on making selection of the right candidates for the right job. So it constitutes really the staffing function of management because you will be conducting here scientific selection to ensure that the right man is selected for the right job. Okay? So dapat meron ka ring team, properly developed na recruitment and selection team para makapag select ka properly ng mga individuals to fill in job vacancies in your organization. Okay? And next, the recruitment and selection procedure or function is usually delegated to Human Resource Management Department. And somehow, this is being performed by kapag mas malaking organization, meron kang tinatawag na mga recruitment and selection specialists. So, yun nga, itong recruitment and selection is essentially delegated or primarily or usually delegated to the Human Resource Management Department. So they are now responsible for overseeing the recruitment and selection process, ensuring that it is carried out effectively and efficiently. And also, meron din tayong mga recruitment and selection specialists na responsible for the performance of the day-to-day tasks related to recruitment and selection. And also, these specialists, they have the expertise and knowledge to identify the right talent for the organization, and they are familiar with the best practices in recruitment and selection. Okay. So we will be looking later on uh, kung ano yung mga activities na ginagawa ng mga recruitment and selection specialists along recruitment and selection. Okay. So, all HR managers and recruitment teams strive to hire the best talent. Of course, every organization, not just the managers or HR managers and the recruitment teams, all business owners, CEOs, wants to hire the best talent because they understand that hiring the right candidate can make a significant difference in organization success, while or hiring or having a bad hire can lead to costly mistakes and loss productivity. Okay. So in trying to attract and hire the best qualified candidates, the whole activity is usually called recruitment, selection, and placement or onboarding of newly hired employees. So we will be looking into these various stages of this process that we are discussing right now. Okay, so let's look into the definition. So recruitment and selection and onboarding are interconnected, and sila ay mga crucial stages in the hiring process of organization. So here are the definitions of these three stages in the hiring process of any organization. So recruitment involves pag makikita mo yung word dito na attracting, so yun yung focus ng recruitment. Involves attracting potential candidates to apply for a job opening. And then we have here selection. Makikita natin yung keyword dyan na choosing. So once we are able to attract the right number of people to apply for those jobs, you will now be conducting your selection process. You will be choosing from this group of applicants by using some selection methods. We will be discussing that later on. And then we have here onboarding. Once you're able to choose among these applicants, and the applicant has already accepted the job offer, then this new employee needs to properly be integrated to your culture and to your systems. Okay, so that's how these three stages are connected with one another. Okay, so first recruitment, you attract potential candidates to apply, and then once the pool of applicant is established, the selection process starts, which involves now evaluating the candidates' qualification, skills, and experiences, and of course, even their suitability for the position. Finally, papasok dito yung onboarding. The chosen candidate is onboarded, which involves introducing them to the organization's culture, policies, procedures, and even providing them with necessary tools, resources, and training to excel in their role. So the connection between these three stages is that they all contribute to finding the right fit for the job and setting the new employee for success. So the recruitment stage is essential in identifying a pool of qualified candidates, and the selection process ensures that the most suitable candidate is chosen. And then onboarding, on the other hand, it will now set the tone for the employee's experience within the organization and ensure that they are adequately equipped to fulfill their role and achieve success in their new position. So, if these three stages are properly executed, it will ensure that the organization hires the right candidate for the job and sets them up for their success in their new role in your organization. Okay, so let's discuss also the benefit of hiring the right person. Okay, so the advantages of employing the suitable candidate or suitable individual is not just about as simply as filling those job vacancies with your family members or even your friends. and colleagues that sometimes may not meet all of the requirements. So, it is crucial for organizations to devote effort and resources to recruit employees who are committed to the long-term success of a business to ensure its sustainability. So every person na naman na no, can bring distinct benefits to the company, and it is essential to look for those with the finest characteristics. So employing the right people can provide various benefits for your organization. Number one, anong benefit yan? Number one, we have here exceptional work output. Okay? So if you choose to hire people who have the right skills that are necessary and valuable in your company, you will see the work output increase. Not only that, these employees also are better in what they do, and also they find ways to make things faster, easier, and even better than before. Okay. Number two, we have here lower training costs. So when you have a new hire, okay, makikita natin dito na kapag nakapag-hire ka ng right person or the talented employee, they may not need as much training time, allowing you to save training or to save on training costs. Okay? Number three, we have here more ideas. So if you hire the right person, the talented person, the most skilled person, they will be the one who can and will contribute new ideas to the company. So, yan yung third na benefit. Number four, yung mga newly hired employees na talented, sila yung mga right person for the job. Okay? The company can see it na namimit nila yung kanilang mga targets. Therefore, pwede silang maging role model ng mga current or mga long-time employees nun sa isang organization. Number five, if you recruit someone who is talented and match the job, and you compensate him or her for his or her talent, you will be hiring a loyal employees. This means that they will be staying with your company for years to come and grow with the company. And then lastly, we have here happier team members. So the more talented people you have, the happier everyone in the company will be. Why? Paano ba nangyayari yan na maging happy sila? Because these talented individuals know how to perform the jobs effectively and efficiently. And also, with this one, nalilesen yung mga conflict, and also the time to tell them or to provide guidance with this, or to supervise itong mga talented, newly hired individuals. Okay? So, yun. So therefore, by hiring the right person, the business will move in a positive direction and will become a more successful in the future. So managers and businesses owners needs to be aware of the impact that employee can have and consider their impact throughout the hiring process. Okay? So ano naman ngayon, no, tapos na natin yung benefit. Ano naman ngayon yung the cost of a bad hire? Of course, no business owners wants to hire the wrong person for the job. Not only because they'll need to find a replacement candidate sooner than they'd like, but also by making a bad hire, it will also drain their energy and time, and somehow can cause a business in a number of ways. Okay, let's see ano ba yung mga sinasabi ng statistics. So 70% of supervisors' time, or about 1 day per week, will be spent managing a bad hire. Ano pa ba? Based on some statistics, 34% of business owners estimated that they waste over 50 hours. Wow, tagal yan, hiring a wrong candidate. Instead of focusing on their main job as managers, ang ginagawa nila, they are dealing with this bad hire in terms of dun sa kanyang mga trabaho siguro, and others na hindi siya effective at saka efficient na employee. And nakalagay din dyan that 37% of extra training costs result from bad hire, as they need more time to adjust to the pace of the workplace. Okay? And another thing, kanina mga financial issues yung mga yun, ano? Another thing is number one, it could have a negative impact on the workforce performance. So a bad hire can negatively affect the performance of an entire team or department. Mhm. Because they may not have the necessary skills or experience to perform their job duties effectively, causing yung mga usual na mga errors, delays, mistakes, and even reduce level of productivity. Number two, we have here recruitment and advertising fees and staff time. Okay. When a bad hire is made, the company may need to restart the recruitment process, which can incur additional costs for advertising job vacancies, dedicating staff time to review resumes and conduct interviews. Number three is ito, disruption. If a bad hire is made for a critical role, it can lead to project delays or even project failure. And this can be very costly in terms of time. It also reduces resources or costly in your resources and even your potential loss of revenue. Number four is relocation and training fees. So if a bad hire needs to be replaced, the company may incur additional costs for relocating them and training the replacement hire. Number five, in some cases, the company may need to provide outplacement services for the terminated employee, which can also add to the cost of a bad hire. Number six, lost customers. If a bad hire is in a position where they are dealing daily with the customer, they may negatively impact customer satisfaction and lead to lost business. Number seven, weaken employer brand. Bad hires can damage really a company's reputation and weaken its employer brand, making it more difficult to attract top talent in the future. And then lastly, we have here litigation fees. In extreme cases, a bad hire may lead to legal action, which can result in costly litigation fees for the company. So, pag titignan mo in summary, making a bad hire can have a significant financial and non-financial costs for the company. So, it's important for organizations to prioritize effective recruitment and selection practices to minimize this risk. So, the average cost of a bad hire can be astronomical. So, pag titignan mo lahat ng mga business factors and all the costs, with all the costs associated with the bad hire, yung mga lost productivity, recruitment, and training expenses, litigation fees, damage to the employer's brand, the cost can be significantly high. So, it's crucial for companies to invest in or to create an effective recruitment and selection process to ensure they hire the right person for the job, which can ultimately save them money in the long run. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. The difference between recruitment and selection. Okay, so we have mentioned a while back that the success of the organization depends on its people. So, recruitment and selection help the organization choose the right candidates for the right positions. So therefore, understanding the difference between recruitment and selection is essential to reduce any losses for the organization. Okay. So just like what we have mentioned in our previous slides, note that when we say recruitment, this is the art of discovering and procuring potential applicants for actual and anticipated vacancies within the organizations. And selection now, we will now be screening those candidates who were discovered and procured and applied to the actual and anticipated vacancies of the organization. So basically, what we are choosing are the ones who are most suitable for the jobs, taking in consideration the needs and requirements of the job. Okay? So, ang recruitment kasi, it's more of recruiting, locating, maintaining, contacting sources of human resources. Okay, yung mga major na ginagawa natin dyan. So, sa selection naman, it connotes meron tayong connotation dyan of placing the right person in the right job. Okay? So it's a process of employing various strategies to help recruiters decide which applicant is best suited for the job. So let's try to look into the specific activities of these stages. So specific tasks involved in the process of recruitment are analyzing job requirements, advertising the vacancy, attracting candidates to apply, managing responses of these applicants, scrutinizing applications, and of course, shortlisting candidates. In the selection naman, ito yung mga various activities or tasks. Number one is screening, eliminating unsuitable candidates, conducting examination and mock interviews or interviews rather, checking references and medical tests, checking references and also yeah, yung medical tests. So the selection process is largely time consuming step in an employee hiring experience because you will now be choosing and evaluating yung mga qualified. HR managers must carefully identify the eligibility of every candidate for the post and being careful not to disregard important factors such as educational qualification, background, and competencies. So, as a summary, ito yung mga differences between recruitment. So, you are searching for potential and encouraging them to apply selection. You will now be selecting the best candidates and offering them the job. Ang approach naman ng recruitment is positive because you want to increase the number of applicant pool. Ang selection is negative because you want to reduce the number of applicants and choose only yung mga ideal candidate. Ang objective is to invite more for the recruitment. Sa selection naman is rejecting those who are not suitable and choosing the best among these top caliber candidates for that position. In terms of contractual relation, ang recruitment, there is no contractual relation established because you're just encouraging them to apply. But in the selection, it would result to a contractual agreement, especially if you will not be providing job offer to the one who were being selected to that position. So, ang process sa recruitment is vacancies are notified and then application form is made available to the candidates. Sa selection naman, the various applicants would undergo different levels of evaluation or selection method to determine if they are appropriate for that position. And ang key factor sa recruitment is advertising the job. And sa selection naman, it's more of job offering or appointing the candidate. Right? So I hope you were able to look into the difference between recruitment and selection. Okay? So the summary. So this is now the main purposes of recruitment. Okay? Increase the pool of qualified job applicants, help increase success rate selection process, help reduce the probability job applicants will leave the organization, meet the organization's responsibilities, legal and social obligations regarding the composition of the workforce, increase organizational and individual effectiveness in short term and long term, evaluate the effectiveness of various techniques and location of recruiting types. Okay? Sa selection naman, it's all about helping organizations make decisions about individuals who will closely match the requirements of vacancies to be filled. And of course, part of selection is you have to provide also adequate information to those candidates who are applying for the job so that they could properly decide if they really want the job. And also to ensure that the candidates feel that they have been courteously and fairly treated during the selection process. Again, ang selection process is not just about for the applicant to get the job, but also for organizations to establish also yung kanilang employer brand na ganito pala dito sa kumpanya na to, maayos yung kanilang recruitment and selection processes. So it's basically a two-way process. The organization get to know the applicant, and the applicant get to know the people of that organization and the overall procedure or brand, employer brand of this organization. Okay, so there you have it, the difference between recruitment and selection. Right. So let's try to discuss naman yung the role of HR in recruitment and selection. It's like we have mentioned kanina, the main actors of this recruitment and selection activity, papasok dito ang Human Resource Department. Okay? So it's a key responsibility of the HR department. And ito yung sa mga area of focus ng HR to attract, select, and onboard suitable candidates for the organization. But yung kanilang role sa recruitment and selection depends on the size of organization. Okay? And then we have here, HR must not only ensure that nagko-comply sila sa mga recruiting process, but they must act as a business partner in the strategic talent acquisition approach. All right. Okay, so that's the short introduction of recruitment selection, kung ano ang definition and the difference between the two terms. Now let's try to discuss naman ngayon yung steps or procedures in recruitment and selection. Okay. So ideally, recruitment and selection starts with human resource planning or workforce planning. Diba? In our previous discussion, we mentioned that in the HR planning exercise, we have three possible outcomes: labor shortage, labor surplus, or labor equilibrium. So basically, the human resource planning process determines if the organization will hire or not. So when the HR planning exercise indicates the need for additional labor, organizations will now step into recruitment and selection. Okay? So doon nag-i-start talaga ang recruitment and selection. Depende dun sa result ng HR planning. So napaka-importante that HR planning must start first before you conduct your recruitment and selection. Right. So let me show you to you this diagram. Okay. So the recruitment and selection activities of the organization is being guided by the employment planning and strategic planning process. Okay. So as you can see in the diagram here, the organizational mission is the guide for organizational strategy. Then HR would come into the picture by analyzing the tasks to be done and figures out how to organize those tasks into jobs. So this was discussed in our job analysis and job design. Okay. Then after that, the next step is to determine how many workers are necessary to fill those jobs and the skills they will need. So if the supply of the workers exceeds the number of necessary workers needed, HR must recruit or reduce the number of workers. Okay. If the supply of workers is less than the number necessary, HR must recruit more workers to fulfill the organizational mission. So HR planning, therefore, is one of the most important elements in the successful HR program because it determines that you have the right number and kind of people at the right place at the right time, capable of effectively and efficiently completing those tasks that will help the organization achieve its overall strategic objectives. And then, based on the outcomes of our employment planning and strategic planning process, there will be a decision if you will be conducting recruitment and selection. But let's say that merong labor shortage. So there is a need for organization to conduct recruitment. So let's try to look into the typical steps in recruitment and selection process. So there is a structure for recruiting and selecting employees. So let me show you now the typical steps in recruitment and selection process. So this is a fairly standard approach, and organizations may use something similar already, or meron din silang ibang method or steps. Okay, so every step is important in giving you the best opportunity to attract the best people with ability and potential. Number one, we have here determine whether recruitment is necessary. It may be that the vacancy can be filled in some other way. We have discussed this. Pwede sigurong mga hiring temporary workers through overtime, etc. We tackle this in our HR planning discussion. So valuable information can be obtained by conducting exit interview with the person who is leaving. You can also look at how the post could be filled. Could be filled ba within or baka pwede naman na internal recruitment or kaya pwede rin na flexible working or through redeployment. Okay. Then number two, if you deem that the recruitment is necessary, the next step is to analyze the job. Okay. So you conduct yung job analysis process that we discussed in our previous discussion, so that the HR department or the hiring manager could provide you information you will need in order to specify the job and the person best suited to fill the job vacancy. And also, kapag wala pang job description and competency profile or person specification, pwede mong gawin to. Number three, write. Okay? The job description and person specification. But if there is already a document doon sa job vacancy na yan, you could leave this step. Okay. Then number four, we have here decision on the most appropriate application and selection methods. So you will now be deciding here ano ang yung mga gagawin natin ng mga application forms and selection methods. So basically you will be determining here if you will be using a resume, curriculum vitae, application forms, and also you will be determining here ano yung mga gagamitin mo na selection strategies. Could be interview, selection test, or background check. Number five, we have here decide how to attract candidates. So this is the process where you will now be making decisions about how to market a vacancy. So it ensures you will be reaching potential recruits, and mistakes can be costly kapag hindi maayos itong paggawa mo ng mga recruitment sources or methods. We will be discussing this individually later on. Number six, we have here market the job. Once you decided on where to market has been taken, you also have to decide how to market. This ensures that any advertisement that you will be floating is fair and representative of both the job and your organization. And then after that, we have here number seven. You are now ready. So once you were able to solicit applicants, you will now be filtering and shortlisting applications. This means reducing the number of applicants to a manageable number for selection. Kasi hindi naman efficient kapag you will be interviewing or allowing all applicants to undergo your selection method, especially if you're dealing with hundreds of applications. So it's important for you to filter and shortlist yung mga talagang qualified. Okay? Remember that if too few people are carried forward to the next stage, pag konti lang yung nag-apply, it restricts your choices. Okay? Pag masyado namang marami, it wastes time and leads to confusion. So, you must filter and shortlist yung mga talagang qualified lang dun sa trabaho. Number 8, we have here conduct selection tests or interviews. The selection method should have been agreed earlier, and the event itself must be well managed, not only to analyze the match between the candidate and the job, but also to give good impression of the organization they may be joining. And then, based on the step number 8 and the previous steps, you are now ready to make the decision and offer. Okay. So the decision about who to appoint must be based on facts and evidence, not gut reaction or instinct. So once the decision has been taken, the successful candidate can be informed face to face or by phone, or it must be always be in writing naman. Okay. Could be via email or physical letter. Then number 10, you also have to conduct some verification and background check. Okay. So that there must be some form of validation of those stated references, especially yung mga academic references, prior work references, law enforcement records are crucial, okay, to determine the validity of those and legality of those data provided during the uh, previous steps in the recruitment and selection process. Then number 11, eto na, pag maganda yung kanyang background check, wala namang problema sa academic niya, law enforcement records, financial records, and even yung kanyang previous work experiences, okay naman. You will be providing job offer and giving them this list of pre-employment requirements. Okay. So once they are able to submit this one, yung mga transcript of records, birth certificate, SSS, PIN number, pag-ibig, PhilHealth membership, NBA clearances, medical certificate, okay, you will now be providing them first day of work and provide them onboarding and training. So, yan, na-discuss natin kanina yung onboarding. And makikita natin na part pa rin siya ng the recruitment and selection process. All right, so there you have it, the typical recruitment and selection process. So it is a long and tedious process that aims to select only the best and culture fit candidates. Okay, next is the typical distribution of recruiting responsibilities between the HR department and managers in large organizations. Okay, so the recruitment and selection process is a partnership and collaboration between the HR unit and the various line managers who requisition for the job vacancy. So depending on the size of the organization, recruitment is the responsibility of the range of workers. So larger organizations, meron silang entire teams of recruiters, while others meron lang silang isa, dalawa. Okay? And in small businesses, the hiring manager may be responsible for recruiting, or the business owners is responsible for the recruiting. The table in the screen shows you the typical distribution of recruitment responsibilities between the HR department and managers in larger organizations. Okay? Next step is we have here the recruitment process. So the recruitment process starts with, after considering there's a need for recruitment based on the HR planning exercise, the specific manager, okay, will provide the HR department this document. Ang tawag natin dito is employee requisition. Okay. Okay. So employee requisition. So this is a document that specifies job title, department, the date the employee is needed for work, and other details. Okay. So normally, nagkakaroon ng job vacancy Is either dalawang paraan yan eh. When employee resigns, retire, dies, discharged from service, or number two, when a new position is created as a result of expansion, restructuring, or reorganization. Pwede rin yung yan. So with this information, managers can refer the uh, appropriate job vacancy and also provide the HR department with job description and job specification. Next is to determine also yung ating mga recruitment sources. Okay. Ano ba ang recruitment sources? This is You have here where qualified candidates are located, such as colleges or competitors. Okay. Saan ka ba makakuha? Yan. Saan ka makakuha ng mga mag-a-apply dun sa organization? Then we have here recruitment methods, specific means to attract potential employees to the firm. Okay. So, ito yung isa sa mga process na medyo mahirap gawin. Ano? The identification of source and the identification of methods. So, later on, we will be looking into some sources and methods in recruitment. Now, let's look into the different recruitment terms that are usually being identified before the actual recruitment efforts is being carried out. Okay. It's important for every recruiters to become aware of the labor markets. Okay, because recruitment takes place in the different labor markets that can vary a great deal. Learning some basics about the labor market aids in understanding recruitment. Ano ba ang labor market? These are the external supply pool from which employer attract employees, the prospective employees. The labor market is the place where workers and employees interact with each other. So in the labor market, employers compete to hire the best, and the workers compete for the best satisfying job. Okay. So labor market analysis is an integral part of the organization's recruitment process because it not only helps it find the most qualified workers for the jobs that it offers, but also ensures that it provides a competitive compensation package to each workers. So this is important in order for organization to be able to keep its competent workers and thus continue its productivity. Okay. So pag sinasabi nating labor market, these are the external sources from which organizations can attract employees. So this includes all potential employees in particular area, whether they are actively seeking employment or not. So there are key terms here. Number one is the labor force population. This includes all individuals who are available for selection if all possible recruitment strategies are used. So this population includes both employed and unemployed individuals who are willing and able to work. For example, the labor force population in a particular city may include college graduates, experienced professionals, and retirees who are interested in working part-time. Then number two, we have here the applicant population. Ito ay subset ng labor force population that is available for selection using particular recruiting approach. For example, a company may use a specific job board or recruitment agency to attract potential candidates. And the applicants who respond to these efforts would be considered the applicant population. Okay? Then number three, we have here the applicant pool. Ito na. Consists of all persons who are evaluated for selection. So this includes individuals who have submitted an application or resume and have been screened by the company recruitment team. For example, if a company receives 100 resumes in response to a job posting, these 100 individuals would make up the applicant pool. Then lastly, the individuals selected consists of those who made it through the screening process and have been hired for the job. So this includes individuals who have successfully completed the interview process and any required assessments and naka-receive sila ng job offer by the company. So for example, if a company decides to hire three people out of the 100 applicants who applied for the job, those three individuals will be considered the individuals selected. All right. So yon. Another terms, recruitment terms. Okay, so normally, kung ano to, at least four recruiting decisions affect the nature of applicant population. Number one is the recruiting method. So the method of recruiting affects the nature of applicant population, as it determines the type of candidates who will be attracted to the job opening. Let's say, for example, if an organization chooses to advertise job openings on social media platforms, it is more likely that yung mga mag-a-apply, yung mga ma-attract mo mag-apply are younger candidates. Whereas job posting when you will be posting job openings on industry specific job boards, you may attract more experienced professionals. Number two, recruiting methods. So the message conveyed during the recruitment process affects also the nature of the applicant population as it shapes the perceptions of the potential applicants. For example, if a job description emphasizes high salary and benefits, it may attract applicants who are primarily motivated by compensation rather than the job itself. Number three, we have here applicant qualifications required. The qualifications required for a job opening can also greatly affect the nature of applicant pool. Okay. So for example, if a job requires a college degree and several years of experience, it will only attract applicants who meet those specific qualifications. And anong maging result nun? This can result in a smaller applicant pool, but may lead naman, okay? But may lead to a more qualified group of candidates. So, pag mas mataas yung education level o yung mga requirements na nire-require mo dun sa trabaho na yan, okay, mas maliit ngayon yung number of applicant pool. But there is a tendency that you will be, receiving a more qualified group of applicants or candidates. Then number four, we have here administrative procedures. The administrative procedures of recruiting process can also affect the nature of applicant population. For example, if an organization only accepts applications during a specific time of year, it may miss out on potential candidates who are looking for a job at a different time. And additionally, if an organization does not follow up with applicants or use previous applicant files, it may miss out on qualified candidates who have previously applied. Okay? All right. So, yun yung mga key terms in recruitment. Okay. Now, let's proceed to recruitment efforts. The decisions that are made about recruiting help dictate not only the kinds and numbers of applicants, but also how difficult or successful recruiting efforts may be. Okay. So, for example, if an organization uses an effective or inefficient recruiting method, it may attract a smaller pool of applicants or attract applicants who do not possess the necessary qualifications for the job. On the other hand, if the organization gumamit sila ng effective recruiting methods, it may attract a larger pool of highly qualified applicants. So similarly, if organization does not clearly define the applicant qualifications required, it may attract a wide range of applicants, and some of whom may not be well suited for the job. And ultimately, the decisions made about recruiting can have significant impact on the success or failure of recruiting process. So therefore, recruiting strategy entails identifying where to recruit, who to recruit, and what the job requirements will be. And one of the key considerations is deciding whether you will be using internal or external searches. Okay. So let's discuss these two sources or methods of recruitment. Pag-usapan muna natin itong internal recruitment. Okay? So most employers combine the use of internal and external recruiting sources. So this means that both promoting from within the organization, and hiring from outside the organizations comes with advantages and disadvantages. So let us discuss this advantages and disadvantages. Internal recruitment. This is usually the first choice of recruitment, which focuses on filling job positions within the organization by promoting existing employees. So this type of recruitment looks into getting internal sources to fill positions and encourages promotions from within. So an organization's promotion policy will have a significant effect on the recruitment process. If the open position is above entry level, it may be appropriate to promote someone already working for the organization. So many organizations use promotion from within as a way of motivating individuals. So it's a motivation tool and a reward for good work or longevity with the organization. Because when employees see that their coworkers being promoted, they become more aware of their own career opportunities. So management should be able to identify current employees who are capable of filling positions as they become available. So some of the tools being used for internal recruitment are HR databases, job postings and job biddings, and even employee referrals. So here are the advantages of using internal recruitment. Number one, it is usually cheaper in terms of starting pay. So when filling an internal vacancy, the company already has established pay structure, so there is no need to negotiate for a new salary. So for example, if a company promotes an existing employee to a higher position, they will receive a slightly higher one based on the company pay structure. Number two, uh, there will also be savings because it will be faster to fill internal vacancies. So internal recruitment can be faster than external recruitment because the company already has information about the skills, experience, and performance of internal candidates. So this means that there's no need to spend time and money advertising, recruiting, and even screening candidates. So for example, if a company has a position that needs to be filled urgently, they may look internally first before opening the position up to external candidates. Next is etong improves employee morale. Internal recruitment can boost employee morale as it shows that the company values their current employees and they are willing to invest in their development. This can increase employee loyalty and motivation, which can lead to higher job satisfaction and productivity. So, for example, if an employee sees that there are opportunities for career progression within the company, they be more likely to stay with the company long term. Then number four, strengths and weaknesses of the insider are already known. Alam mo na kung ano yung mga strengths and weaknesses. So when filling a position internally, the company has already assessed the skills and experience of the employee as well as their strengths and weaknesses. So this can lead to a better success rate since the company has a better understanding of the employee's capabilities and how they fit into the company culture. So for example, if a company promotes an employee to a management position, they already have an understanding of their leadership and interpersonal skills, which can make the transition to the new position more smoother. Hmm. Yun. Okay, another thing is, meron din tayong tinatawag na cultural fit. Internal candidates are already familiar with the company value, work processes, and culture. So they are more likely to fit in seamlessly with the team and require less time to adjust to the new role. Okay, smooth transition. Sabi ko na rin kanina, since they are working already within the organization, there is less risk of disruption or uncertainty in the team. And they may also require less orientation or onboarding since they are already familiar with the company policies, procedures, and systems. And also, meron tayong tinatawag dito na retention of proprietary knowledge. So by promoting from within, the organization can retain valuable industry knowledge, institutional memory, and relationships that internal candidates have built with clients, partners, or suppliers. So this can help the company maintain its competitive edge and avoid losing valuable assets to competitors. Okay, so those are the advantages. Let's look into the disadvantages naman. Number one, meron tayong tinatawag dito na ripple effect. When an employee is promoted, it creates a vacancy in their previous position that needs to be filled. This can result in a series of job openings and movements within the organization, which can be disruptive and time-consuming for management. Number two, pwede rin kasi na di ba kanina boost moral. Ngayon, pwede rin kasing mag-cause ng lowered moral. Bakit? When some employees are promoted and others are not, it can lead to resentment and lowered morale among those who were not selected. This can have a negative impact on teamwork and overall job satisfaction. Number three, lack of fresh perspectives. By promoting from within, the company may miss out on the opportunity to bring in new employees with the fresh ideas and perspective. This can lead to stagnation and lack of innovation. Number four, negative competition. Okay. The promotion process can create a sense of competition among employees, which can be sometimes could be counterproductive if it becomes cutthroat and very divisive. Then lastly, we have here less criticism. An employee who has been with the company for a long time may be less likely to challenge the status quo or offer constructive criticism that could help the company improve. And the effect could be, or it could lead to complacency and resistance to change. All right. So, yon yung mga advantages and disadvantages of using internal recruitment. Now, punta naman tayo sa external recruitment. So many employers prefer to conduct internal recruitment first, and then they will turn to external recruitment only if internal efforts are unsuccessful. So external recruitment is hiring someone from outside the organization. So if no current employees has the desired qualifications, candidates may be attracted from a number of outside sources. So normally, employers use external recruitment to attract individuals with the necessary skill sets that are not found in-house or when seeking to grow your business or take it in a different direction. So, yan, you will now be looking outside the organization to fill job openings. Okay? And we have here three reasons why external recruitment is needed. Number one, to fill entry-level jobs. So this is the first reason why external recruitment is needed. Okay, especially for organizations that have a high number or a high turnover rate or required large number of employees. Example, yung mga nasa fast food chain, yung mga nasa call center industry, yung mga nasa mga manufacturing. Okay, so they may need to hire large number of entry level of workers to staff its, for example, fast food, to staff yung kanilang mga restaurant. Number two, the second reason why external recruitment is needed is to acquire skills not possessed by current employees. This is particularly important when organization is expanding into new areas or when new technologies or processes are introduced. Let's say, for example, a software company may need to recruit employees with specialized skills in artificial intelligence or machine learning. Number three, lastly, there is a need to obtain employees with different backgrounds to provide diversity of ideas. So hiring employees from a diverse backgrounds can bring new perspective and ideas to the organization and help create a more inclusive workplace. So let's say, for example, uh, a multinational corporation may need to recruit employees from different countries to better understand the needs and preferences of its global customer base. Okay, so ano naman ang mga advantages ng external recruitment? So we have here number one, access to larger talent pool. Of course, external recruitment enables the organization to attract a larger pool of candidates with diverse skills, experiences, and perspective. Let's say, for example, if a company wants to expand its operation to a new geographical location, it will need to recruit new employees from the local labor market to ensure that the company is staffed with people who understand the local culture and customs. Next is new ideas and perspectives. So the external recruitment provides the opportunity to bring in fresh perspective and ideas into the organization, enhancing the creativity and innovation. So let's say, for example, if a company wants to implement a new marketing strategy, it can hire a marketing professional from a different industry who has a proven track record of success in that area. Okay, another is yung acquire new skills and competencies. Of course, kapag external recruitment, you will be bringing an employee who possesses skills and competencies not found within the organization. Okay? Especially if you will be expanding into a new area of technology, you can recruit a skilled and experienced employee from another organization who has expertise in that area. So, connection na yan sa next na advantage which is the comparative intelligence gathering. Okay? External recruitment can also provide the opportunity to hire people with knowledge of competitors' secret, which can help the company gain competitive advantage. So, example dito is you will be hiring a former employee of a competitor who has knowledge of competitors' strategies and business practices. Okay? So, yun yung mga advantages. Ano naman ang mga disadvantages? Number one, higher cost. It is typically more expensive to hire external candidate because of the need for advertising, recruiting fees, and relocation costs, among others. Okay, example, a company needs to hire a senior executive from another organization to bring in new skills and experiences. So the company has to spend significant amount of money on the headhunters, job advertisement, and even relocation expenses. Number two, meron din tayong tinatawag, di ba kanina merong cultural fit for internal recruitment. Sa external recruitment naman, meron tayong tinatawag na cultural mismatch. So, in here, external hires may have difficulty fitting into the organization's culture, which could lead to low morale, poor performance, and even high turnover. Okay? Example dito is, for example, mag-hire ka ng executive or CEO from a competitor to lead a new project. However, yung kanyang style, yung kanyang personality, yung kanyang attitude hindi pareho doon sa culture ng company, it will create tension among employees, leading to a negative work environment. Number three, ito rin, pwede rin mangyari to yung overstated qualification. Sometimes, itong mga external candidates, okay, they may look impressive on paper, but they may not live up to the expectations in the actual job. Okay. So, for example, a company hire a salesperson with a great track record of meeting targets from another industry. Pero kasi ibang industry naman yung business niyo, tapos nung kinuha niyo siya, nag-struggle naman siya in adapting to your company's product and sales process. Therefore, yung kanilang performance ay nagsuffer. Okay? So, merong mga ganyan. Minsan, yung mga applicant, they exaggerate yung kanilang skills and qualifications for them to get the job. But, kapag actual work na, hindi naman pala nila ganong level yung sinasabi nila dun sa kanilang resume. Another is yung longer acclimation period. So yung mga external hire may take longer to adjust to the job and organization's culture, which could delay productivity and impact business operations. And then lastly, we have here employee morale. Uh, yung ating mga internal employees may feel or may be demoralized because they aren't considered for the position, leading to lower commitment levels and higher turnover. So they may be telling to themselves, ba't pa sila nag-hire ng external? Eh, available naman ako, kaya ko naman tong trabaho na. So they might be demoralized, yung mga current employees, when they aren't considered for the position. So parang, for example, yung isang company, nag-hire ng outside instead of promoting employee from within. Eh, qualified naman sila. Ba't pa kumuha sila sa labas? So this decision leads to resentment among current employees and some may leave the organization. All right. So yan yung ating introduction for the recruitment and selection. Okay, so next discussion we will be highlighting naman yung mga recruitment sources, internal and external recruitment sources, and even yung mga methods and techniques. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for listening.